What's going on, everyone? I'm trying to get the natural enthusiasm that I usually have in my voice. I'm quitting cigarettes this week, so my serotonin is very low. But we're going to keep this shit going. I'm extremely excited for this episode, so that's just going to keep me going through this. We got a great talk this week, an incredible interview, and I want to give you guys a little backstory so you understand, how I know Chiko, who's our guest, and, how things got to where they are now. So when I was about 20, I got incredibly lucky and was working at Red Distribution, which is a distribution company of Sony Music. And I don't know how the fuck I got this job, to be completely honest with you guys. It fell into my lap, and I proved myself really quickly. I was working for the SVP, Senior Vice President of Product Development. So he basically came to me and he was like, look, man, you like music? I'm like, yeah. He's like, what kind of music you like? I'm like, hip-hop, rap. He's like, bring me some hip-hop and rap artists that you like that are good. You know what I mean? He prefaced that shit. He's like, bring me good artists. So I'm looking through the catalog of what I listen to and everything, and I'm pretty sure I was listening to the song Threats, and I was like, oh, let me see if he fucks with young Simmie. Show him the music. Obviously, he thought it was sick. So I reached out, cold emailed his management, and lo and behold, instantly get a response. The decree, the definition of professionalism. This man got back to me in no less than an hour. And, we set up the meeting, and they came to the office, and in walked young Simmie and his manager, Chiko. And after that, man, the rest is history. Chiko is nothing less than professional. He always treated me with dignity and respect. And we just started building from there, man. It was family from that point on. The he's a great dude, and he's a great businessman. So just to kind of give you a little list of his credits, he's the CEO of the Aviator Group. It's a management company where he represents Reazy Renegade, Antonio Brown, young Simmie, the Renegades, Jonny Hopkins, and he's also worked with Teck and Lody. And he's placed over 119 major records with people from DJ Khaled to Meek Mill, Rick Ross, Young Dolph, French Montana, Pusha, K-Camp, Fabulous, Schoolboy Q, Tory Lanez. The list goes on. This dude has a fucking fabulous career, and I'm really fortunate to have him here. Chiko, I'm eternally grateful that you came on the show, man. You already know it's all love. Continued success and blessings to you and your family, man. You all deserve it, and I can't wait to see where you guys go from here. And thank you all for stopping in and listening again. To go on with the caliber of the interview, I wanted to match it with music that could match the excellence of the conversation we're about to have. So to entertain you guys even more, I've included the music of Julio Slim. You can find out more about him on his Instagram page. You can find links to both his and Chiko's in the description. And as always, if you fuck with this week's episode, please like, comment, subscribe. It'll help me get further with the podcast. It'll help me get in algorithms. It'll help me increase my fan base. All that shit makes my life a little easier, and it makes it easier for me to continue the podcast. So fuck with me, rock with me, ride with me, and enjoy another week of living with Will.
I got the trees like sycamore. Go to Me's liquor store. I was trying to show you subtleties you ain't pick up on. Blink and you missed it all. Think before you get involved, throwing caution to the wind. That's why niggas getting robbed. Quit the streets and get a job, or twist your fingers with the mob. I did a market switch, then came out with Slim Bob. Slim was about to catch a charge and fuck around and caught a charge. A nigga had the lawyer up, got a couple pending cases. Wake up in the morning, pray to East. Before I tie my laces, roll me up a J and face it. Nothing in this life is given, niggas see the chance and take it. I don't see no competition, I am everything you isn't. Partly cause your flow is basic. You can send me your location, I come through and hit the play. My people thirst for information, so the water Frito-Lay. Everything gon' be okay, I wanted to see OK. I sold more grams than gym weights, so my pockets been straight. Victim of the circumstance, lies like Ferdinand Magellan. We was told, but I chose to overstand. You will never understand. On the corner selling grams at the hustle stand. Weight from the muscle man. I done serve my uncle, man. Turn around and serve my cousin, man. I had to stop because I love you, man. This drug shit'll crush you. This what we go through in the struggle. Aspiration to dry bubbles and getting ratchet women to love you. That's a fool's fix. Careful who you cool with. From a distance, can't tell who's which. Sniffers hitting 8 balls like pool sticks. Niggas like, who's this? About to make a cool flip. Tryna make a smooth grip. Man, this nigga blew up like a cool crib. Ratting ass nigga, loose lips. Never would've thought he done this. Fuck around and shot nip. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. She spin the bomb like Ben Laden. Pull up in that Benz wagon, blowing fire smoke. I've been dragging. Crazy with the rock like I'm Dame Dash. Really got the same passion as a slave master whooping ass. About to drop 2 albums like this year. Niggas thought I disappeared. Never falling off, still here. Telling on yourself, man, you niggas weird. Falling out, fear the beard. I'ma drop consistently for years. Ever since a youngin' wanted to cash out. Ain't know what that cash bout. Young and dumb, a nigga took the fast route.
So let me take us back to the beginning. You know, you've had a very successful career in the music industry, but I think it's important for people starting out to hear about the beginning. So how'd you get into the music industry to begin with?
Around 2009, well, actually 2008, you know, I had formed a record label with Reazy Renegade, and you know, we was in college, and you know, I was just signing whoever I wanted to sign, homies, whatever. We ended up becoming popular around campus, and then we had signed some artists, some local artists around the city, which one of the dudes is YD the Best, and you know, he's working with AB now. But it was in a group, and we had the label, and you know, we started making some moves, gaining some momentum, making noise, and you know, we caught the eye of DJ Smalls. So as far as the producers, the Renegades, and you know, right after that, we kind of started messing around with Smalls and started working with him and traveling and, you know, meeting new people. And he kind of showed us the ropes of the game a little bit in the beginning. It was a label called Fear Factor Music Group. But that meant all that was like just a temporary thing. That's just, you know, the homie that we was rocking with at the moment.
Right.
But long story short, you know, we started, you know, just rocking with some Florida artists, and it kind of got the attention of Khaled, Ace Hood being one, and that's when Renegades signed to We The Best, and then we started working with Khaled, and then that's when, you know, everything started happening as far as, you know, the hit records coming in and, you know, meeting the new people. It started with that vibe right there, but we was determined, you know, since 2009, really 2008, but we didn't really go nowhere at that year, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what was it like working with DJ Khaled and working with We The Best? How did that kind of inform where you'd go?
It was awesome, you know. So you know, we were young, like 19. You know, one of the other Renegades was 19 as well, and Reazy was a little older. I think he was 20 at the time, and 20 to 21, and you know, we were just trying to get in the game. So being around a dude like Khaled at the time, you know, he didn't have on one or nothing. It wasn't the Snapchat Khaled. This is before. He still had hit records, and he still was like that, you know, he still that dude. So just seeing his hunger every night, going to the studio every night, seeing how he, you know, makes phone calls, how he fights for his label, his team, his music in particular. And just seeing the hunger, you know, keep asking me, you know, where the money at? You know, when I'm young, you know, I'm like, you know, you got all the money, you know, like, why you asking me that? But, you know, now that I'm older and I look back on it, you know, it's a form of like, you know, staying hungry, like where the money at Chiko, where the money at Renegade, you know what I'm saying? Just like stay hungry, no matter how much money you have, stay hungry. And that's kind of what I took from him, you know, looking back and stuff like that. So other than that, you know, Khaled was a good dude to work with. We was always around, you know, Lil Wayne, Birdman, MMG. He had Future around. It was a good environment, you know.
Mm-hmm. And so how did you kind of go from working with him to going off and kind of making your own imprint on the industry?
Well, really, just learning from him,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, learning also from Birdman and the YMC and B Crew and how they operate. And you know, I always wanted to be a person, like I told you, in college we had a record label, so I always wanted to own a record label. If I'm gonna do music, that's what I want to do. Management kind of just fell into place. I really didn't want to be a manager. It just so happened. But as time went on, you know, I just started owning, you know, I got my own company, Aviator Group, the Aviator Group, and it's a management company, and I started that company first. And that company has been going on since 2012.
Mm-hmm.
So I just decided, you know, we was with Khaled for 6 years. So I decided to, you know, do my own thing as far as like being me, you know, as a manager, my own executive, whatever in the future. That just I had that vision, you know, coming in, you know, being a boss, you know, just I want to run my own. I don't really like the thing is about like working for someone. That's fine, that's cool, but I don't really like working for someone, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
Completely. I think that's why we always got along so well. We're like-minded in that way.
Yeah, it's nothing against nobody. It's just that I'm not going to be working for someone. And, you know, if I'm working for someone, whoever that someone is going to reap all the benefits. And it's up to that someone to share the pie. And I'm not saying that Khaled didn't do that or nothing like that, but I don't want to be in a situation where I work so hard for someone else to, you know, make the decision whether I got to eat or I get some money. I want to be treating people the right way. And I want everyone to feel happy if they're going to rock with me or my people. So the only way you can do that is if you control it. And then the only way you control it is if you own it. So that's kind of my mentality. It's really nothing against no one, or no one did anything to no one. It's all love, everyone's family. It's just that we just got a boss mentality mindset that we want to do exactly what they want to do.
I love that, man.
That's kind of what it was.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. You make sure to add to the fact that there's no bad blood or anything. This is just who you are and what you have to do. But I appreciate you speaking with that intention and making sure no one takes your words and goes a different direction with them.
Yeah, it's all love, but like I said, it's just we wanted to branch out and do our own thing as any other person. You know, we're talking like 2010 when the Renegades signed to Khaled. So we're talking almost 10 years ago, or basically 10 years ago. And, you know, that's a whole different era of like music. But this era of music, this generation, is the same mentality that we had 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm. No, and I mean, and the past 10 years have really taken you along a crazy path. So you went from We the Best working with them. How did you end up working with Young Simmie and working with the Raider Clan guys?
So I had a studio in Hialeah that I was sharing with my friend from high school, and I had an artist at the time. His name was Kashi, and he knew Simmie, and it's a Miami thing. You know, rappers know each other, and I didn't really know who Simmie was, so I had to look him up, and you know, Reazy Renegade told me about him. Like, you know, these guys are coming up. It was a song named Threats that was popping.
Mm-hmm.
And long story short, Simmie ended up coming to my studio to meet Kashi. And, you know, it was just from there, like, we just decided to, like, work together. He liked my work ethic. I like his work ethic. And we just decided to work together and build from there and build his brand along with building my resume and my contacts, you know, just to get shit done as a manager. And that's kind of how it happened, to be honest with you.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, it's
just like a vibe, you know?
Yeah, definitely. No, it's so funny because when we met, I think we met in 2016 is when all that stuff was happening at Red, before you ended up with the Orchard. But it's always funny because I didn't know you well enough. I thought that you started hanging out and running with Reazy Renegade after Young Simmie. It's interesting to hear that Reazy Renegade's actually always been in the picture with you.
Yeah, I actually went to high school for like a year or two with Renegade. And then he ended up going to high school at Everglades, which is a whole another high school. I think Tory Lanez was over there at that time, or he knew Tory Lanez, something like that. But he went to a whole different high school for a couple years. But I actually knew him since high school.
That's wild.
We reunited in college.
Yeah, it's crazy to me how small the world can be. I mean, in every industry. But to hear that he went to school with Tory Lanez, you went to high school with him, reconnecting college, and he introduces you to Simmie. It's just wild how all these things kind of fall into each other.
Yeah, I mean, God works in mysterious ways.
Yeah, well put.
I look at it.
Yeah, definitely. Well, so as far as Reazy Renegade, man, you guys have had a tremendous amount of success, largely in part to, I mean, the dude's clearly incredibly talented, but the song Lottery with K-Camp, I'll never forget when you started posting about it on Instagram and sent that shit to me. The first second I heard it, I was like, this song is going to be platinum. Like, this is a hit right here. And
Yeah.
and it went crazy. But I'm curious, like, did you guys know when you were recording it, or when did you realize like this is different than some of the other stuff we worked on?
Honestly, we didn't. I mean, honestly, like when the beat, the bass is different. So we knew always that it's different, and we didn't really. I had like told Camp, hit up Renegade. He's in New York. I wasn't in New York at the time. Camp ended up linking with Renegade, and they ended up going to the studio. And so I wasn't in the room at the time, but when I heard the record that, because they sent it to me right after, I was like, this is a dope record. I mean, honestly, I didn't really think of anything of it, and I don't think the guys did either. It just all happened organically. But it's definitely a different record from what Camp usually has and puts out. And I think, like, thanks to all the TikTok people and Jalaya, it worked. Everything started going organically, and that's just how it went. But I mean, we always knew it was different. We always knew it hit different. And honestly, to be honest with you, I put Renegade up with any producer in the industry in the room, and I believe Renegade will come out a winner. As far as the beat battle or whatever, I honestly really think that any dude, any person, any producer.
Yeah, I really think.
I always thought that.
Yeah, I think that we're in for a wild career, man. I mean, I'm obviously don't know him nearly as well as you do, but I wouldn't disagree. I think that he definitely can go toe to toe with anyone. And that beat's definitely a testament to that. And you spoke on briefly the role that TikTok played in that. I want to kind of touch on that because it's not like the newest platform of all time now, but it's still relatively new. It's still kind of in its infancy. So can you speak on a little bit how the role that played kind of in the explosion of the song?
I think it played a big role. I think it was the main factor of why it blew up, to be honest with you. The song was dope in general, but, I mean, until it started catching up on TikTok and, the kids started eating it up, I just feel like that's what really elevated the Lottery to the next level. Because, I mean, it was gold. It wasn't gold, and then it started going gold when the TikTok started happening, and now we almost platinum, I think.
Yeah.
We basically are. I don't know. I got to check, but we're almost there, or if not, we ain't there already. And I think TikTok played a huge role. It was something new for all of us. None of us knew what the hell it was, even Camp. So
how did that happen?
It was organically, when you make hits only, that's what happens.
Yeah, no, and it's the truth, man. And you make a great reference to your company, Hits Only. Like, it's a well named company, man, because that's what's happening right now. It's exclusively hits.
No, I appreciate that, man. Hits Only is a label that is mine and Renegades that we co-own it, and we do have a deal with Empire and Tina Davis and a partnership with Charlie Walk. So, and Ghazi, that's his Empire, it's his thing. So Ghazi, Tina Davis, Charlie Walk, they're a part of the team now. this is after Orchard, Sony Orchard.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to the Sony Orchard staff and Jay Adino for, they're the ones who have got us over there too.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's only, we're a new label that's giving opportunity to everyone. Like I told you, how I see people operating in the past and certain people, wasn't getting paid or certain things. I don't want to do that. That was another reason why I wanted to own a label, because I don't want to mistreat anyone. I want to make sure everyone's happy. So it's a label that we distribute. We give you production, management, anything you need, PR, press, marketing. Whether we do it under Empire, whether we do it under another company like Video, whatever, we're going to make it happen for your career. So that's what Hits Only is. And we've been screaming that since 2012. Hits Only. It was just something, it was like a hashtag that Renegade had made up. And it was just something he always said, but I liked it. So we always just ran with it. But then when it was time to come up with a label, we had so many, like a label name, we had so many names. And we were just like, man, why don't we just do Hits Only? Because that's what we really about. We don't want to do underground stuff. We want to be straight commercial, straight hits, things that change everyone's life around us, And that's basically, we was like, man, Hits Only entertainment, Hits Only music, and then, the acronyms like HOE, so we don't want to be called hoes or anything like that. So said Hits Only music entertainment, HOME, like home team, like come home,
Love that.
So that's kind of what it is, Hits Only music,
Mm-hmm. And I love seeing you guys do it, man. It's wild to see the growth. Like I got to see you kind of in the middle of, because you I think you said you left We the Best in 2010. It's now 2020. I think me and you met in 2015. So I got to
we signed to Renegades was signed to Khaled in 2010. We left in 2016.
Oh, okay, so I met you during the time that you were still there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, shit, still, man. I mean, it's an honor to be able to say that I know you, man, and to kind of have seen this path of yours kind of unfurling. It's been really cool, man, to kind of be an outsider to it, but like, I really appreciate the time I got to spend in music because I met people like you, man. And I wanted to ask you, like, are there any words of advice that you would give if, like, let's say, like, a 16-year-old Chiko was listening to this? Do you have any words of advice for the younger kids kind of coming up and that want to be on the executive side of the music industry?
When you gotta work hard, a lot of nights with no sleep, a lot of nights where you're in places that you don't feel comfortable in or you're not used to being in. When you're coming up, you're the little man in the room at all times because you're technically the rookie. So you gotta learn, listen, watch. Don't try to be too cool and just play your part. And, things will come in. And as people see you more, because that's what the industry is all about, they'll become more comfortable to give you a role or if you handle your role, if you did have a role and you handling it well, then they'll see that and they'll give you more opportunity. But just you gotta really want it, and you gotta really deal with a lot of stress and back and forth with lawyers, and it's not an easy job. It's very stressful at times, but it's also a blessing because my office can be anywhere at any point. So I don't have to be in a closed space or anything. But just work hard, really have a vision, know what you want, and the hardest part is not starting. The hardest part is keeping things together. That's the hardest part.
Damn, well said, man. Yeah, and speak to kind of, and now that you've kind of given them kind of the ways to get into it, speak to a little bit where it's taken you, man. I've seen you jet setting around the world. Talk about, if you can, like some of the experiences that you've had. I saw you were you in Spain recently or Portugal, was it? I see you've been everywhere, bro. I saw you in Greece.
Yeah, I was in Greece. I love Greece. Greece is beautiful. I'm half Greek. So I went to my motherland just to see what's up with it. I love it over there. It's beautiful, and Europe's awesome. Simmie had a chance to tour Europe, so it was dope. Canada, good. But when you're in a way overseas or in a foreign country, it's always a blessing. And the music definitely brought you there. it's definitely a blessing. But I was there this last time just chilling. So
Nice, yeah. I love that.
getting away.
Did you ever live in Greece, or are you always been from the U.S.? Are you from Florida originally?
Yeah, born and raised South Florida. My dad, that's where my Greek side comes from, and my Colombian side comes from my mom.
Okay.
Never lived in Greece. None of my grandfather lives in Greece now, but my dad ended up staying here. He was born in Pittsburgh, so he got his own company, so he just focused over here. Eventually, I want to buy a crib in Greece, condo, something. I love Greece or Italy, something over there.
Love that. Now, so I mean, you said that your dad has a company, so I see where like the roots in like for you being an executive come from. But was there any musical influence from your family, or did that just come from friends growing up?
No. Well, I heard my grandfather in Colombia was in a jazz band, and this is like 1920s, 1930s, in Colombia though, and so I think that's why I get my music side from it. But I think I really get my hustle from my father. I see him wake up when I was a kid every day, 5 in the morning. He has his own company, does construction, tree trimming, landscaping. So I see him get up every day, 5 in the morning, 5:30. Take an hour of his time to get ready and leave around like 6:15 to go pick up his workers and be at a job site at 7. See him do it every day, 7 days a week, just to provide for the family. Down here in Florida, the sun beam, we're the sunshine state, so you're looking at like 95, 100-degree weather every day. He's been doing it for almost 50 years, so I think that's where I get my hustle from. I think that's where I get my inspiration from as far as to keep going. And till this day, he's still doing it. He's older now, but he just loves it so much, he ain't going to leave. So just seeing him, like, have determination. Because he always told me, company is what you make it. So if you put 100% into it, your company is going to be legit. If you put half of your energy to it, your company is going to be half-assed. So I always put my all into it, just like he did. And you learn it, you live and you learn as you have a company, and that's just where it goes. But I think the music influence comes from my grandfather. The hustle comes from my father. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, man, it's really interesting how most people I speak to, there's always a root in family, and I think that always puts us on our path. Like almost every musician I know, at some point in their family history or someone down the line was musically inclined, or and as far as you like being inspired by your father, he has the work. I mean, I see the work ethic in you, man. When I was at Sony, you were always the first, you know what I mean, first person to respond, first person to call. Like your work speaks for itself, man, and it's no surprise that you're finding success in it.
No, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. We definitely came a long way from the Sony days.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's so weird looking back on it. I saw a picture of me the other day. Like, we were kids, man. We were really just kids. Like, but like, we had wisdom about how this shit works. That it's still with me, even though I'm not working there anymore. I still pull from the same place.
Yeah, no, I like what you got going on with this this radio podcast, all this thing. I like that, man. It seems like you found a passion in it.
Definitely. No, I really appreciate that, man. I'm trying to just create a platform where, cause like I really enjoy my life, man. Like I've enjoyed meeting people like you and coming down to Miami and going to the studio with you and young Simmie, seeing like Slump God and X's tags on the walls and shit. Like it's provided me a life that I want to be able to share with people, and like, the relationships that I've forged with people like you are what drive me to do new shit. So I'm trying to kind of expose that to an audience. Not everybody gets the ability or the privilege to meet someone like Chiko. So I want to give them that space that I've had. Hopefully, then that inspires them to go and do shit like we've done, or like or even outdo us, Like that would be sick. I'd love to see someone listen to our interview and go out and become the next big fucking, the best music industry executive ever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's just hard work.
Talking money and politics, thinking about my accomplishments. Certain shit need a polish. I probably go back to college. Look at me now, counterparts wonder how a nigga walk with a smile when niggas counting me out. Hated without a doubt. We yelling and shouting, the streets needed the snow, so I came back through it. I'm mountain. Juan Porter, the hustler, serving quarters to customers. Only clutch if you bustin' and never whip out for nothing. Always I'm up to something, just in case you was wondering. Always sunny in Washington, nigga, go get the money. It's funny, I recollect, awaiting our reconnection. I know you holding your breath, I hope you placing your bets. Put it all on the winner, humble, a born sinner. I sell my brother this poison and then go buy me some dinner. All I ask is forgiveness, on this road to riches. I know the streets is vicious, but I just need you to listen. I'm searching for the consistent, and it's distant. That's a distance, pay attention. Yeah. Got these iconic sounds coming through the airways, you hear me? Yeah. It feel like some real classic shit. But don't you agree? Got Shorty in the background singing and shit, sicing the nigga, you know what I mean? Yeah. Whoa, yeah. Fascinated by wealth, I educated myself. I traded in on my Nikes and got me some Jack for sales. Nigga, I'm living well, swell, seldom giving a hell. Tell them niggas I went and did it myself. Slim, who is him? I, just a criminal. When you turn on your cable, you see the way that they label you. Only show you who favor you if it's catering to what they've been trying to prove, but won't show when they murder you. Media never heard of you, plus the government serving you. About to take a sabbatical, I need some time off. Seeking actual factuals, crazy that real is radical. Then they don't like your attitude, how much your time costs. I spent this time lost, wandering through the wilderness, another line crossed. Nigga, turn your mind off, ayy. Where you find soft, this good, I think I need some. 28 grand, about to re-up. This feel like some old classic shit from 96 or something. You know what I mean? Jay-Z on Reasonable Doubt, you know what I mean? Yeah. Feeling like I found my pocket, like I'm already a star, like I'm on or something. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And right now, I'm in tune to Tone Jones and the Tonettes. Yeah. Yeah. And I'ma just wanna vibe with you, man. I want y'all to vibe with me, man. You know what I mean? Yeah. There ain't too much stunting on nothing, man. We just rolling up that shit, puffing on that crucial. You feel me? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's just really like, you know, as far as being a manager, like, if my advice to someone that's trying to be a manager, because there's different roles that I play. Like, I play a lot of roles. I can play PR, marketing role. I could be a manager. I could do the label executive type of thing, you know. I could play A&R, any type of role, you know, you kind of see. So to be a manager, you have to put up with a lot of egos. You have to really know what you're doing, and as far as business, and you have to have a great team, like as far as like your talent and your lawyer. And you know, as a manager, it's good to have a lawyer that you're good with, like as personal, like you're good with, like not just your artist, you're good with. And you know, management is in a way working for someone. So that kind of goes to like, I don't want to work for someone, but now, you know, I realize I own my own company, so I'm not working for someone, I'm working with you. So that's a difference. Mm-hmm. So, you know, if like an example, like anybody's team, like anybody that I roll with, Simmie, AB, Renegade, anybody, like, they got their own team.
Right.
That they, like, you know, I make a commission off what I bring to the table, or my team, or anyone, you know, that's different. The other people get paid salary, you know, that's different. So, you know, when something comes in, I split it with the talent, and that's all who gets it, you know. And then when the talent wants to, you know, make a video, or he needs just, you know, pay the assistant a salary, or stylist or whatever, then, you know, he cuts the check to that individual. But that's working for someone. I'm working with someone, so I had to learn that. But you know, a lot of managers are like, kind of like play a role. If you don't know what you're doing and you can't bring anything to the table, then you kind of play like an assistant manager role. And that's something I didn't want to fall into. So I made sure I went out and I got contacts and connections and all of that, you know what I'm saying? And that's where I go back to say, a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of like determination, a lot of nights where you're in the studio till 10 in the morning and you was there at like 6 p.m. the day before. I went to the club a lot just to meet people. I don't like to party too much or go to the club. I just went to go meet people, you know, go meet artists. And that's how I met a lot of these artists. And, you know, was through parties, clubs, social, being social, you know. So that's what you got to do to be a manager. You got to have contacts. You got to have connections. You got to take trips to L.A., trips to New York, find the talent, bring them to A&R, meet some people at staff in different labels, meet the staff in different labels, and you have to know people, and you have to know, like, booking people. It's not just label people. You have to know booking people to get your artist booked. You have to know, like, touring managers to get your artists on tour, the festival people. Like, you got to know it all. Not only, like, you know, if your artist needs to go get a feature from Lil Baby, you need to go get Lil Baby, and you need to find a way how to get in contact with them or whatever. So you got to know relationships is key, and that's why I always, you know, make sure the relationships are there for me, and there's no bridges burned at all. You feel me?
Definitely. No, I really appreciate what you're saying, man, and I look forward to people hearing this, because if, you know, I feel like it's a shame, because I feel like a sad reality is a lot of artists don't get the success that they deserve because them and their teams don't understand what the business is like. You know, like the music is there. There's so much talent on this planet, but you know, the business is tough.
There's a lot of like stuff that goes on. Like, you know, there's artists that sit there. I heard it all. Like, there's artists that sit there and act like, you know, they got a high ego, act like they make hit records, but they really make okay music. And then they're sitting there telling you, yo, get me a check. Yo, do this. Yo, do that. It's just like, bro, you got to get yourself a check, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got to make the right music. I'm not the one going in the booth. I'm providing good beats for you, and you giving me trash lyrics. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, you know, you expecting the world from me. So those are the type of artists that usually never will make it until they understand what this game really, you know, what it really takes to make it in this game. And you have to really know that it's patience, and your manager is only gonna do, like, your manager is gonna go off the momentum that you create. So if you out here making a dope tape and it's a good strategy, y'all put a good strategy, put it out, and it creates noise, and you're listening to your manager, you got to be here at 8 a.m., or you got to be here at 6 a.m., or you got to do this, and you got to do that. You know, don't be like late and nothing like that. Try to make it, you know. But when you get bigger, that's when you can do things on your own time. You feel me? But
Definitely.
when you're trying to make it, you gotta follow protocol, and you gotta, like, understand what's really going on. And, you know, if you guys are doing things as a team the right way, then your manager, if he's a good manager, he'll get you booked. He'll find a way to get you booked, like I found a way to get Simmie booked, you know. And you know, you gotta have good people around you that want to win too, because it's not just the manager and the artist.
No,
But
that's yeah. Speak to that a little bit. You were emphasizing the importance of having a good relationship with your lawyer. And I don't think people talk about or know enough about why that's important. So is that what? Could you speak on that a little bit?
well, a lawyer has been very important. I mean, I know how to read. I'm pretty sure everyone else knows how to read too. And these words and phrases that they put in these contracts can become very confusing. So you gotta really understand it. So
Right.
if you and don't play yourself. Like if you don't understand it, it's nothing wrong with that. Nothing's wrong with you. That's what a lawyer's for. So make sure that you have a lawyer that looks out for you. Make sure y'all are friends. Make sure y'all cool. Make sure it's not just like a money thing with your lawyer. Cause I'm gonna just be real. Like when we did a deal, with We the Best, things weren't really the right way for Renegades, and as far as certain things, and it was leaning towards the We the Best party, which is normal. That's what all contracts are like.
Right.
It's up to you to make sure and negotiate that this is what you want.
Exactly.
And we had a bad lawyer at that moment, and he telling us, this is a good look. You should do this. You should do that. And I mean, there were certain things that we would want to change looking back at it, but like I said, we were young, and this is a lawyer that was presented to us. And, coming to find out after certain things, oh, damn, he didn't explain this to us. He didn't say this to us. Not saying that, nothing was wrong, but there's certain things that we would want to protect us, like phrases, the clauses, or whatever. And, it just wasn't in there. And it affects your money. It affects your career and your life because, let's just say, if we didn't want to be We the Best after a certain amount of years, then that would have been a problem. But in this situation, Khaled's family, so it's always love. So, we would be with Khaled right now, but at the end of the day, if we can find some type of good partnership, but, I don't think he would want to do anything like that, or we would want to either. So at the end of the day, you just got to come to a common ground with your CEO at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't have a good lawyer, bro, if it's a money thing with your lawyer, and you just want your money, and he's just telling you whatever, then he might not have your best interest. And you gotta understand, if I'm paying a lawyer and the lawyer telling me to do something, and I'm not taking my responsibility as a manager or the artist or producer or whatever you are, then that's your fault. That's not the lawyer's fault, because you can still read, you can understand it, get it. If you don't trust one lawyer, find another lawyer's advice, but gotta make sure you're protected. So with me, my lawyer, his name's Matt Buser. He's a great lawyer. He's from Atlanta. He lives in LA. Shout out to my boy Matt. He represents good people, like Amber Rose, Renegades, Scott Storage. He works for Steve LaBelle. He works for me. Or DJ Feezy. I brought him some clients here and there. I seen him grow. I remember when he was just starting, so I kind of, I was doing music before him. I was in the game before him, but I just, he's a hungry dude. So if you hungry, I'm gonna help you no matter what you do.
Right.
It don't even have to be music. So I saw that he was hungry. I started telling people to go rock with him, and he busted his tail for his position. Nothing was given to him, even though I leading people. So I'm sure other people did too. But he got a good head on his shoulder. He's a great lawyer, and he's been doing it for a long time. And I know if I send something to him, he's really looking out for my interests. Because sometimes I don't gotta, sometimes I might not have to pay him. He might be like, "Yo, it's love," and that's how you know you got a good relationship. But sometimes, we'll help him out or whatever. It's always we'll give him a place to stay if he don't want to get a hotel, whatever. It doesn't matter. We family,
Right.
and that's just what it is. Your lawyer gotta be family, and not just someone that looks at you as a checkbook.
No, it's true.
Man.
No, the importance of your circle is paramount, man. And I also want to speak to this a little bit about. So, you speak on people's hustle and people's grind, and I want to speak a little bit about where that gets you. So a lot of artists are focused on getting that budget, right, or getting that, getting some money, getting in advance. From your experience, what is a diligent way to, let's say, like someone is getting a budget for the first time, or they're getting an advance for the first time? What's a recommendation or some advice you give to someone with managing their funds?
Honestly, don't spend it. Like, save it. Save your money. You don't need to spend it. You know, your first check, unless it's like six, 7 figures, and I'm talking a big six. It's not gonna change your life. You know, even if it's $100,000 check, $200,000 check, it's gonna change your life a little bit for that moment. But like, you gotta continue to make money. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna go away quick.
Mm-hmm.
So save your money. Learn to invest in your money. There's other ways to invest in your money. There's a whole bunch of ways: forex, crypto, real estate, anything, other investments. You know, bunch of ways to make money. Investing in other artists, investing in music, investing in clothing, anything that you believe in. I believe in it. If you're gonna invest in something, you gotta really like it yourself. I would never invest in something I don't have a passion for. I'm just not, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But that, you know, that's how I feel, you know.
Definitely. No, and I tell people the same every day. I'm like, if anyone asks me about investing or anything, I'm like, look, I don't know what you like, but whatever you are interested in, that's what you should be investing in. And you actually bring me to a good transition. Outside of music, man, like what are some of the things that are most important to you? What do you do like when you're not running a company?
I like to chill with my family. Maybe take trips overseas, just to vibe, go shopping. Just chill. I got 2 new puppies, so I've been chilling with them.
Oh yeah.
Quarantining, you know, working remotely, you know. But other than that, just chilling. I like sports, so I'm a good fanatic of sports, and I go to the beach, chill, just things like that. Go by with some homies that are outside of music, that do real business, and just go pick their brain and see what they about and how they can help me invest my money in other things. Just things like that. That's just what I do.
Hell yeah, man. I love that. And speaking of sports, dude, how did the relationship grow with Antonio Brown and his team? How did that happen?
So AB, you know, he a good friend. I rock with AB. You know, he a good guy. Regardless of what anyone say, you know, he means well for everyone around him. He wants to win, and that's the best thing about AB. He's hungry. He wants to win no matter what. And he, you know, he hit my boy up, Mr. Neek, and Neek directed him to me. I don't know what that conversation was like, but he directed him to me, and AB and me just clicked. You know, we got kind of like the same personality, same like drive, and you know, in a way, you know, and you know, he reminded me like of just a homeboy trying to win. So,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, I told him, you take this thing seriously, because I dealt with other people, athletes and celebrities, and I tried to do music, and it just didn't work. If you're gonna do it, you gotta do it for real, and gotta do it the right way, and you know, don't make the wrong decisions. You gotta listen to me and listen to other people that is in music that I brought around or you brought around, and you know, take advice, you know, and be in that studio every day like if you was in the football field. And that man really go to the football field every morning and go 2 workouts a day and go record at night. Like, it's just crazy how he does it. Sometimes he'll do two studio times in a day and 2 workouts, 3 workouts. Like, he just works. So that's what really you know, drew me to work with AB, was his work ethic. And, you know, the fact that he told me that he was gonna take the music for real. So I was like, all right, let's do it. I'm gonna help you out with it. So that's how it came about. Is our boy Mr. Meek, he linked us up, and the rest was history for that. And he has a good song out with Rick Ross, Whole Lot of Money. For, you know, regardless of what anyone say, I mean, listen, AB's cool, man. AB's a good guy, and if you want to know what's up, man, listen to his music. He talk about it.
Mm-hmm. No, and I'm sure you being a Steelers fan it's like being able to you get the privilege of working with some of your you know, as a fan of sports, man. AB's shit, legendary Steelers.
Listen, I mean, I like the logo. Like, I love players individually, but I love the Steelers because, you know, I grew up a Steeler in a way. My father's from Pittsburgh, so that's where the connection comes from, and he's hardcore Pittsburgh all day. So, you know, I used to like players when I was a kid. My favorite player was, you know, Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin, and Dion, because they're from Florida, and, you know, Irvin's from Miami, so Irvin was my favorite player. But as I got older, I started, you know, when Irvin left and all that, Troy Aikman, that whole team left, you know, I kind of like, all right, well, I'm not a fan of like an individual player no more, so I just went with what my dad liked, and he was a Steelers fan, Penguins, and Pirates, so that's what I am all day. And, you know, if the Pittsburgh had a basketball team, I'd be that too.
Fuck
but
yeah.
I'm a Miami Heat fan because they don't got a basketball team, and, you know, Miami Heat and UM, that's who I rock with down here. And you know, that's just what it is. That's just what it is. My connection with Pittsburgh as far as that. And you know, AB was a part of the Steelers, so that was dope. And he was one of the best receivers we ever had. So
right.
That was dope. I mean, you know, I don't really get starstruck. Like, you know, like at the end of the day, like, you know, we're all human. So when he hit me up, it was a surprise. Don't get it twisted, because out of all people, I would have never thought he would have started doing music. You know what I'm saying? It was a surprise to me, but it caught me off guard a little bit. But other than that, it was just like, you know, if you're gonna do it, I'm gonna help you. And we, you know, before COVID hit, we was doing good. We was doing great. He was about to go on tour.
Wow. Yeah, I'm sorry that it definitely has not been a blessing for the music community, but I'm glad to hear that you're doing well and everything, man. And I feel you on the starstruck. It was never. I feel like that's why we always were able to move in different groups and like and be able to network with people, because I don't think either of us ever had that. I think the most starstruck I've ever been, in all honesty, was when I was meeting with you and Simmie for the first time, off the fact that it was clear to me that things were starting to happen in my life. You know, like that was a jumping. I think, and I'm sure you can relate. Like the landmarks in life have been more of like a start. I'm like, damn, I must be onto some shit if I'm meeting with people like this. You know what I mean? I'm sure you felt that way when Antonio Brown's in the room. You're like, all right, I'm really the shit.
Yeah, nah, man. I mean, listen, man, gonna call the best, man. It's on you. It's what we do.
Hell, fuck yeah, man. That's also like on the point you've been emphasizing kind of all night, the importance of advice and listening. And I wanted to know, could you think back and can you think of any of the most valuable lessons that you've been, or the advice that you've been given?
Well, from music? Or from anybody in music?
For music, but also just from wisdom from your time on Earth, man. You know, like you said, we're all people, so just any wisdom that you can think of.
That's a good question. I mean, I think that the thing with my dad, when he told me, you know, accompanies what you make, it's kind of simple, but it really sticks in my head till this day. And you know, when I'm just chilling, and I don't know, I always gotta work. You know, when COVID hit, you know, it kind of like stopped it, so it's a little weird right now. But like, I always gotta work. You know, so I kind of took a break from Instagram because, you know, I don't want to see anyone and what they doing, because I can't do what I really want to do because, you know, COVID and we got a social distance. So I don't let that part drive me crazy, because if I see other people working, I gotta work.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that all came from my father. So those little simple words he said to me kind of like stuck with me to this day. You know, just like another thing, I'm in a fraternity, a black fraternity, Phi Beta Sigma, and Renegade's actually in that fraternity too, and he's actually my LB. We crossed the same time, same line, and one of my frat brothers told me, like, you know, when I crossed, like, now that you're a Sigma, don't think that everyone that's a Sigma is gonna be your brother. Like, we may all rep the same logo, but not everyone here, like, maybe in tune with each other. You feel me? Like, and that goes for anything in life, he told me. So, like, you could be working with someone and they might not be rocking with you. They might just be, like, hating on you, but they might be on your team. So you got to watch everything. Basically, what he was telling me, like, watch your surroundings, watch everything. Because, you know, no matter, even if someone's on the same team, which is a fucked up situation if that does happen, but it just opens your eyes up to, like, your surroundings. So he basically told me, like, just always keep an eye out because, you know, in a fraternity in college, like, you kind of like the popular guys and stuff like that. I didn't really get a chance to do that because as soon as we crossed, we signed to Khaled. Like, we was with Khaled, so I didn't get a chance to do none of that. Probably like one semester, and that was it. But I took that advice, and I always watch what's around me. You know, I mean, those two things, which has nothing to do with music, those two things kind of stuck with me. And then on the music side, like, what sticks to me right now is my boy Charlie Walk say, hits don't catch corona, so got to keep working. That's a good thing. And, you know, I had people in the music industry tell me, you know, like, like Busta Rhymes gave me inspiration, talked to me about, like, you know, money and, like, you know, just don't be too big for any gig or anything, you know, take every opportunity. So I learned that, you know, good words from him. And, you know, just stuff that Khaled, I can't really say word for word, but, like, Khaled definitely had a lot of, like, quotes, some memorable quotes that stuck with me. But other than that, I mean, you know, that's about it. A lot of it's self-inspiration. I get a lot of my inspiration from me.
That's awesome. Hey, listen, well, do you have any inspiration that you want to share from yourself that you've taught yourself?
I just have the mentality, like, you know, I can have anything I want if I work for it. So that's one side of thing, but another side of the mentality is, like, you got to work for it, so you got to bust your ass to do it. You can't just be chilling, you know. But you got to be creative. So, you know, it's just inspiration from all angles to be creative, to keep pushing. I really get that from my father. So, I mean, that's what I really would say. I mean, honestly, it's self-inspiration because I don't look to others to, like, inspire me. I just know I got to do it. This is something I got to do. If I want to be what inspires me to have the hottest label, I want Hits Only to be one of the hottest labels in the future. Correct? Yeah, we just started. Yeah, but you know, I want to get up there. You know, we got good stuff already. What we've been doing, so let's take it to a whole nother level. I want to be like a TDE, a QC. You know what I'm saying? A Rockefeller. Like, I want to be like that. So. Even though we just started, we got a good deal. Now we looking for artists. We doing big things. But what inspired me to do that is just to be the best. So it's just who I came around. I grew up, like, my father is very tough at working. He always wants to work. And when I came up on the music, it was like the same mentality with Khaled, Ross, and all that crew. You know what I'm saying? And it's the same mentality with just work. So I kind of was just, like, raised on it from, like, a kid and going into first thing into music and seeing that and how they operate. That's just what stuck into me. So I feel like that's just how I was raised.
I love that, man, and it's inspiring right now just listening to it. So I appreciate you sharing it, and I already know Hits Only is going to be one of the biggest labels. You just manifested it as you have been with your work ethic, man. So I look forward to seeing where it takes you guys.
Yeah, we got the beat to all the hot artists pull up.
Yeah, hell yeah. No, I definitely will. We definitely need to continue our conversations about music, man. And I gotta show you some people I've been listening to. I think you guys might have something to work on together.
Send it my way. Let me know.
Will
Right?
do, man. But dude, thank you. I mean, shit, I definitely want to have you come back on, because there's so many questions that I don't have time to ask. But I know you're busy, man. I don't want to take up too much more of your time. But thank you, man. I'm eternally grateful. This has been legendary. Any final thoughts? Anything people should look forward to, or any last
Nah, man, it's a pleasure. I appreciate you for even thinking of me, to do the interview. I like what you got going on. Keep pushing and, keep growing. And, you're going to do your thing too, And I always support you. You always got support from me. So, whatever you need, I got you. Just reach out. You need to go bigger or whatever. Let me know. I'll try to make it happen. We figure it out.
Oh yeah, yo, you're a legend, man. I appreciate that. Anything you have in the works, or anyone you want to shout out before we wrap it up?
Yeah, I want to shout out my boy, Renegade. That's my brother for life. I want to shout out, James Roseman and Charlie Walk, Tina Davis, Gazi. Shout out, my Hit Sony team, my boy Mozzie, Junior, JR, my boy Jalen. So, shout out Cone, shout out Elijah from UK. Shout out to my boy Jay Dino. That's the dude at Tony Orchard that gave me the opportunity to be great. And shout out to everyone else who support us and rep our stuff. So other than that, that's about it.
Fuck yeah, man. That's the way to end it right there.
For sure. Yeah. Just a bump in the road, minor setback. I cannot forget that. You see me sell soft, I regret that. I carried the supply like a kid pack, and you ain't have to talk, you just stare back. You already know where my head at. I'm trying to get this bread, Jack. And really, I ain't trying to hear that. It's clear that the shit a nigga talk about really done did that. I really done lived that. Where you wouldn't want your kids at, you wouldn't want your crib back. Nigga, I can't even sit back without the strap. Nigga, I can't even relax without the pack. It's all on the line, nigga, I can't even fall back. I fell down, but I crawled back. Looking for the money, power, respect, all that. A true hustler, what you call that? Got me feeling like MF Doom on all caps. Look, told y'all, man. Got me fucked up. You put your money on the laws, man, they told y'all wrong. Dewan already sold y'all songs. Records from the heart that was hot like the stove still on. The herd dripping while the clothes still on. The frozen arm. Compliment the golden charms. I make chess moves en passant. I'm so nonchalant. All with the flick of the wrist. I average triple-double steals and assists. It's like I'm running the point. Oscar Robertson puffing his joint with 40s and 4.5s. That's a lot of points. I write crime like Donald Goines. Hustle for the coins, breaking down chicken tenderloins. Money make a lot of shit null and void. Life you can't avoid. Keep it with me cause I'm paranoid. Big Glock shots make a scary noise. Keep it very poised. Turn your group of men into scary boys.